Okay, so we got a weird thing here. Alright, so yesterday I did some missions and it's saying database 1 has been captured and it's encryption breached by Intrepid SEAF Cyber Warfare Specialist. Now we're talking about the Automatons, okay? So we had to attack an Automatron planet and we stole some data. And this is weird, okay? This is really weird. It says the vast trove of information will take months to fully parse, but key intel has already been discovered. Now, the fact that it says it'll take months tells me that whatever this is about is a part 1 to something else that's later going to be laid out much later in the game, months from now possibly, maybe in a future update. And then it says the Automatrons appear to be planning some sort of massive terraforming project on Cyberstan itself. Other decoded data includes detailed recordings of the impact of the Terminid super colony. So this is really weird, okay? So first of all, we have Cyberstan is the planet that in Helldivers 1, the AI were living on. For people that don't know, the Automatrons are not those robots. The Automatrons were actually once humans, and they were able to download their consciousness and their memories and become metal machines. So it's like I really don't know what to compare it to. So they downloaded their brains somehow. They don't have biological brains from what I understand, but they downloaded their brain. They mapped it, downloaded it, and put it into the machines that are now the Automatrons. But it's very important to understand that the Automatrons are not the robots in the first one. But Cyberstan is where those AI fell. According to the lore, that AI fell in Cyberstrand. So they are doing something that has to do with massive terraforming on Cyberstan itself. Why would machines need to change the atmosphere of a planet? So that's the first issue. The second one is that we're already told this is going to take months to analyze. I think something's going to happen. And then even weirder, they're collecting data on the Terminid super colony. Why would the Automatrons be super interested in the Terminids? Something weird is going on here, guys. And it says other key words are referenced numerous times throughout the data trove without additional details. Vassal 00, Nucleus, the Final Collective, and others. So what in the hell is going on? It sounds like the Automatrons are doing some kind of experiment with the Terminids, and they found a super colony. Vessel 00 could be a subject of the Terminids that they have done something with, or it could also refer to the Illuminate. I don't know. And this is Nucleus. So when we hear Nucleus, we're usually thinking of biology. And then it says the Final Collective. Okay, so Joel, who is in charge of Helldivers 2, and he's like the game master. This editing goes through multiple hands. This is not an accident, and this was not put out, happily, I guess, is the word. There's meaning to all of this. This is weird. Now, I'm going to go down a path with you that's going to be conspiracy theory in this video real quick. I'm not sure that I can trust the source, but I had it told to me that the Illuminate were not going to be what we thought, and that's all they could say. And I was like, what do you mean? We know that we fought the Illuminate in the first Helldivers. We know that they were enemies of Super Earth. Super Earth actually betrays the Illuminate. So what if, and I'm just throwing this out, because we have a lot of extra space down here in space. You can see down in the south, there's a ton of room, and there are planets in that area, but nothing's happening. So we actually have the potential for two other enemies, if you will. If you will. What if the Illuminant is calling for help and comes to Super Earth for help? And what if the Illuminant and Super Earth have to team up with the Automatrons, or team up with, like the Illuminant teams up with Super Earth to fight the Automatrons and the Terminids? What if the Automatrons have figured out some way to control the Terminids and make them into a super weapon? So I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, nah. What if, guys, we know that it has been data mined that there are going to be NPCs for the Illuminant, and we know that they have some very strange powers, like a force choke. They have telekinesis, teleportation. What if somehow Super Earth either gets their technology and integrates it with the Helldivers, so that somehow you have
the efforts of Helldivers
where
across
you're
the
able
galaxy
to use these
are all that
powers,
keeps the enemy from Liberty's
and
doorstep.
instead of calling down an engram, you're using an artifact that gives you some power, like a teleport or something, or maybe like a force push or force pull or the force choke or something like that. And never mind that, I could be wrong on that. But what's going on with this major order success here? Something's going on. It looks to me like the Automatrons are doing something with the Terminids. Why would Automatrons ever terraform a planet? Terraforming is when you're changing the atmosphere to something else. In other words, like if you went to Mars, and in order to terraform Mars, we would have to create giant factories that puts out a lot of carbon at first, and then we'd have to put a lot of plants down that take in the carbon, and they put out oxygen, and we'd have to figure out a way to stop the acid rain. The air on Mars is supposed to be like a bleach, and like a human cannot just stand out on Mars, even with an oxygen tank. Their skin would melt off because the air is like bleach. It's so acidic. So we would have to terraform Mars to be more like Earth, in other words. Why would Automatrons that are metal ever terraform a planet? So, although the Automatrons have technology in this, they can't just snap their fingers and terraform it. So the terraforming cannot be a weapon. In other words, they couldn't get to Super Earth or an Earth colony and make it into a terraformed planet for them, because number one, they wouldn't care. They're Automatrons, they can live anywhere. And number two, it would take too long. So why invest in this project? It's obviously mentioning that they're messing with the Terminids here. Something's going on, guys. Something's going on. And it says that at the bottom, as our analysts continue to decode the vast database, new intel may be gleaned that will aid in our resistance. So new intel may be pulled from this. It says, for now, our strategic objective is confirmed on the Automatron front. Cyberstan is once again our target. This is fishy, guys. I think it would be wild if the Illuminant do come as maybe an enemy, and somewhere along the line they're being attacked by the Automatrons and the Terminids too. And also, according to the lore, we do not know how the Terminids are going from planet to planet. According to the lore, they're not able to put out spores, or somehow, the way that the Starship Troopers do. Their insects are able to shoot spores into space that land on asteroids, and then the asteroid impacts a planet, and that asteroid had eggs, and the eggs will contain the insects, and then they can just take over the planet, basically. The Terminids don't do that. We literally have no way of knowing how they're going from planet to planet. And it has been speculated that Super Earth, in a conspiracy, were actually the ones, the government are the ones seeding planets every now and then with Terminids in order to keep the oil going up. But I don't think that's what's going to happen according to the lore. And we have the ministry of truth. And and I know in a real life perspective, Super Earth is very, very much a tyranny, I guess, tyrant government. And I think that Joel and others have said, wait a minute, we want him to be funny and cool, but we don't want him to be too bad. And I think that they're doing some damage control, and maybe we're going to find out that the Automatons are somehow spreading the Terminids and controlling the Terminids. I don't know, I could be wrong. But this just seems really fishy. I've played Helldivers 2 from the day that it came out, and I got off when the Sony crap happened. I played this a ton. I was playing before we even had major orders, and I've done a bunch of major orders, and I've never seen anything like this where it's trying to imply that the Terminids and the Automatons are linked somehow, some way. And that Vessel 00 stands out to me. That could also be a ship from the Illuminati. It could be some Automatron ship, too. It could be a ship that's somehow seeding the planets with the Terminids. I don't know, guys, but this is really weird. So, if you are a Helldiver, I'm going to give you the date today. It is June the 11th. So, if you logged on, you should have seen this. And for the people that just clicked the continue button really quick and didn't pay attention to this, boy, you missed out. Because first of all, this is telling us there's months of data and that we may learn something later on from it. Hint, hint. And then it's suggesting there's terraforming going on. And then the planet named is Cyberstan. Why? Are they trying to resurrect the AI that were once on there? Could that be a third enemy that's coming in besides the Illuminati, maybe? The Illuminati, are they going to be an enemy and then turn to an ally later on? Is Super Earth going to be fighting Terminids, Automatrons, and Illuminati? And then maybe even the old AI? I don't know. Or are the AI going to get intermingled with the Automatrons? I think that's where they would go with that if they did do that. I think that if they resurrected the AI from the first game, that they would mingle in with the Automatrons and it'd all be, in the Automatrons. But they're considered a different species because one is actual AI and the other ones were once biological humans that were upgraded to be more machine over time. And from the lore, the Automatrons were peaceful and social at first. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on here. If you ask me, I think that a lot of the conspiracies we've seen in the past says that Super Earth is the bad guys and that they're lying with the media. And I think somewhere along the line, the developers and the Deebs and everybody and Joel have said, wait a minute, we've gone too far with these conspiracies maybe. And perhaps they want to bring back pride to the Helldivers in a certain way, to where they're fanatical. They're definitely a republic. They are absolutely a republic. But what if they're trying to make them more into the good guys by showing that the Terminids are not seeded by the humans at all, but seeded on other planets by the Automatrons? There's a lot to unpack here, guys. I don't know. I'm going to actually stop this video and upload this as a video itself with conspiracy. But this is crazy. They're working together somehow. Let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and comment on this. This is a huge conspiracy, guys. This is weird.